Hi, everybody. Welcome to modules 11 and 12. We're doubling up this time around. So this is now a 2-week window, but it's a lot of reading. So it's going to be 2 weeks. So we are heading into our last section, which is, organization of your collection. So for weeks 11 and 12, we're looking at cataloging. And when I say we're looking at cataloging, what I mean is you should have a copy of Catalog It by Kaplan, and you're going to read the damn thing. That's it. I mean, I know it's not very exciting, but it is interesting, I have to say. So I'm going to ask you to read the page. You should read the page. All the information you need to know is there. A couple of things I want to point out is if you look in the module, there is a partner form for week 13 and 14. 13 for sure. 14, you can decide if you want to stick with your partner or just do it on your own. So for week 13, you're going to be looking at an OPAC, which is an online public access catalog, but not everybody has access to one of those. So what I'm going to have you do is fill out this form, your first name, your last name, your SSU mailing address, and then where you are. If you're working or volunteering in a school library, then you've probably definitely got access to an OPAC. If you are currently working in a school but not in a library, then you probably could, ask your librarian in your school, but realistically would like to put you up with somebody who is already working. So they have an OPAC. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to talk, the person who has a catalog is going to talk about their catalog. You're going to interview them. And then you're going to investigate another catalog and compare them and do a write-up. It'll all become, don't even worry about it. It's week 13. What you need to know is that I need to partner you up. So also grade level is not a deal breaker. Like I try to keep people with people in their grade level. It doesn't always work. And then if you're already know that you want to work with someone and you guys will have access to a catalog that you can, play with and look at, feel free to just if you both put the, each other's name in it, I'll partner you up that way. Otherwise, I will be putting you with other people. I guess I could say if you have beef with anybody, tell me not to put you with them, but I think we're above that. All right, so you're going to recatalog it, which hopefully you have. There's some exercises in chapters 4, 5, 6, and 7. There are exercises at the end of the chapter just to see if you know what you're doing. Do those. You don't have to turn them in. I mean, it's the honor system, but what that'll do is it will make you aware that, oh yeah, it makes more sense if you start playing with it. You do not have to master, you don't have to memorize this. You don't have to take notes unless you want to, if you find it interesting. This is just 2 weeks of your life. You just need to be aware of it. Most of the time you're going to be copy cataloging in school libraries. That's just the way it is. But you kind of want to know what the structure looks like. And, things are always changing. So, learn what you can. All right, so fill that out. And I believe I put a due date on that. Yeah, next Saturday, because I want to get you partnered up so that you have a chance maybe over April vacation to talk to each other and get your stuff sorted. Then we have some articles. So you're basically gonna read Kaplan and then try to take a look at one of these articles and maybe put something in the chat, the discussion. There's one discussion for these 2 weeks, but you have to go 3 different times. So maybe read one of these fun articles and then put something in and then don't come back for a week and then put something in and then finish up, whatever, but 3 different times. I've been well, I've mentioned it a bunch, but I've been lackadaisical about taking points off for it as a rule. You got to do it. You got to do it to get credit. Because this is a slog, these 2 weeks. And then your blog, you only have one blog post for both weeks, and kind of just want to know, how you feel about the whole cataloging experience. So the articles, I love these articles this week. This one is super, it's an old one, but it's just, it explains Dewey really well. Then you go to mental floss and they're like, except maybe you didn't know this. And they give you the controversial facts. I love a little drama. Then we go to the MSLA, what is it called? The forum. And Jillian Bartu, she's Cambridge Public Schools cataloger. And Cambridge, I don't know if Boston has one, but Cambridge does have a cataloger. It's very rare for schools. Usually, it's copy cataloging. But she's fantastic. She's so interesting. And she's written I want to say 4 or 5 really cool articles. So if you're a member of MSLA, which I believe you should be, because I think it's free or like $1 for students, go in there and read Jillian Bartu. She's terrific. And feel free to look at her other articles too. Just be careful, because when I clicked on this, it just opened up the Mass School Library website, which, all right. Then this was interesting. And if you want to talk about genrefying, excuse me, I know it's a bigger issue in other classes. I mean, my own personal thing is absolutely genrefy your collection if you want, if you have the energy for it. But this was cool as far as looking at how your catalog is set up as opposed to how your shelving is set up. Kind of interesting take. Then these are these are the memes that I made when I took cataloging. I guess it was 2 years ago. I'm getting an MLIS right now, and just, get up the pay scale, be in public sector a little bit. But this is basically my entire cataloging experience right now. And OCLC is the best. Although they just closed up, they had a service where you could just put in the ISBN number on a book and it would give you the most popular Dewey number, and they shut it. It's now paywall. Oh, so sad. Then this is an interview with Sandy Berman, and Sandy Berman is someone who wanted to sort of look at those issues in how, in Dewey, in LOC, Library of Congress, and wanted to look at recognize that there were some issues there and wanted to change it. Then we have got, of course, I have to have something from School Library Journal. So this is about a tribal library who created an entirely new classification system because they were sick of the racism inherent in Dewey. And then here's another one, Momentum Grows to Eliminate Bias and Racism. Oh, Melville, you came up with a great system, but you weren't a great guy. So another little piece of that. And then this is really interesting. Dorothy Porter, I don't need your advertisement, Smithsonian. She, a long time ago, like she was in, 1939, started mentioning like, hey, I've got some issues here. So an article about her. So these are just to sort of try to humanize what you're working on a little bit. But I think that it's something we all need to get through. The first time I took it, I was like, oh, and then the second time I took it, it was super complex, but which it was super complex. So whenever I had to do reading, I would make a meme for it and then post it in the discussion board. And my classmates were very happy because they would read the meme and then they'd be like, oh, that's what it's about. All right. Gosh, I guess that for 2 weeks, I don't have much to say. I've been really enjoying going through your work. I have all but a handful of you have had your video feedback. So I'm going to, if you've been waiting a while, it's probably because you haven't yet got your video feedback, and it does take longer, but I am hoping to do that today, tomorrow, and next weekends. Everybody should have had theirs by then. And then we're just going to bang out these last 4 weeks and call it a semester. So if you need anything, I am just an email away. And otherwise, thanks for all the work you've been doing, and I'll see you in the discussion boards. Bye.